Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Manoj Networking, and here I will be discussing mainly about the network related concepts and the technologies and the new emerging technologies in the networking field. So as part of our learning series today I thought of showing you about the Palo Alto Firewall's GUI. So I'll just walk you through about what are all the options we'll get in the Palo Alto GUI. So Palo Alto firewalls are essence in most of the companies. So even for cyber security engineers, so we are using Palo Alto in various methods. So this is the home screen you are seeing for Palo Alto. So it will ask for username and password. So in real time you will be having dedicated credentials to log into the firewalls. It could be with your employee ID or it could be with your proper username. Since this is an kind of lab environment, so we don't have any ICE server to authenticate, so I am just using admin as a login, and password I have just reset on my own, so that's the password I am using. But whereas in real time you will be using your own dedicated credentials. And one thing to note here, if you see here, it is showing the site is not secure, and that is absolutely fine here since this is a lab demonstration. But whereas in real time you will not see this errors. So this error you will get because this it doesn't have any certificate details. So my device, my firewall doesn't have any certificate details, so that's why it is showing unsecure. So please keep in mind, but in real time you will be having the valid certificate. So I will show in upcoming sessions about how to renew the certificate, why the certificate is needed for any firewall. It's not only for Palo Alto firewall, but for now the idea of this demonstration is to walk you through the GUI. So it is taking a little while to load the GUI. So GUI stands for graphical user interface. I hope many of you are aware. So the aim of this GUI is to make your network admin work simpler. So any network device we can access in two ways. It could be with CLI, it could be with GUI. So CLI stands for command line interface, whereas GUI stands for graphical user interface. So the one through browser I am browsing this one. So this method is called as an GUI. So if you have a putty and if you put this IP and if you connect, there you can get the CLI. Okay, so finally we are connected to the Palo Alto VM GUI screen. So here we can do a number of things. Just give it a while to load it. So this is Palo Alto VM. So my Palo Alto is running on VM, so that's why you are seeing virtual machine. So firewalls will come in two ways, either in VM, that you can run in any virtualizer. It could be XXI, it could be in cloud also, you can run it. So that is called as an VM, VM also called as virtual machine. Whereas appliances will be there, it could be of physical devices, also called as appliances. So they will come in physical, so we need to install it on-prem. So I am running my topology on EVNG. Okay, finally we are in the Palo Alto GUI. So the moment you will connect, so it will show you the banner message like this. So it will talk about the version and its series, what are the features they have, it global protect, signatures, those things. So for now I am just closing. And telemetry data collection, this is also we no need to do, so you can click on remind me later. Okay, so let me walk you through about this dashboard. So here you are seeing first I am on the dashboard. So here we are seeing device name is Palo Alto VM. So on management IP address, you can see in real time it could be static. Since this is a lab, you are seeing the DHCP IP. So followed by network mask, gateway, and I am not using any IPv6. So model you are seeing, and serial number plays a critical role in real time. So every Palo Alto firewall, be it your appliance or be it your VM, you will be having the serial number. So I don't have this serial number because I haven't activated this VM yet. So that things you can see. And yeah, uptime, since how long this machine is in uptime, and current management CPU, and data plane usage, and how many users they are connected. And here you can see the latest system logs, who are all connected to your particular this firewall. So who are all connected. So is it talking to this updates.paloaltonetworks.com. so that kind of latest things you can see here. And yes, here in the logged admin sessions, so you can see how many users or how many consoles they are connected. So this is a basic information that you can do in the dashboard. And here you can see the admin login, and if you want to log out, we can use this button to log out. And ACC is not needed. Let's see in monitor what we can get it. Yeah, so this is the place where we can monitor the traffic. So I don't have any users as of now, but in real time you can see what is the source, what is the destination, where they are going, that kind of stuff you can get it here. So in the place monitor, so you can really see the real time traffic. And URL filtering, global protect. So if you wanted to, if any one of the global protect user reported that his VPN is not connected, so you can come to monitor, global protect, we can filter with his employee ID or his name something, and you can see the logs. So in the monitor, basically you can see all kind of logs related. And in policies, yes, here is the place where we can create the policies. So we have different types of policies, like security policies, also called as access controls. So here we can create NAT, network address translations. So let me create one sample policy here. So here we need to define what is the source, what is the destination, what kind of application they are going to, on which port they want to talk, like that stuff you need to do it here. So it's loading, just give it a while. Okay, so we need to click on add to create any new rule. Now if you see, it is asking for name your access control rule. So I'm just putting inside to outside traffic. So inside means my LAN network, outside means my internet. So description again, internal LAN to internet users. I mean anything, any description is fine. So source we need to put source zone. So source zone, if you put any, it can take any IP. Or if you wanted to assign, like let's say now I want only my inside, I mean inside in the sense LAN users want to go to internet. So now I will not choose any. So if I choose any, no matter which IP they are using, complete IPv4 IPs will be allowed, be it class A, class B, class C IPs. Or if you wanted to restrict, so source zone we can keep it as what DMZ or inside, outside, any zone we can create. I'm just it's just loading. I'll just okay. So I'm here. So I am choosing source zone as inside, and source address could be any, or you can in real time you can put any IPs whatever you want. But for now I'm keeping any IP who is coming from inside. And if they are going to outside, again you need to choose the destination zone. So here also we have an option to choose outside, or in the select you can put anybody. So anybody in the sense, again all IPv4 addresses will be allowed. Or you can again from the outside zone you can even filter the particular IPs. That is also possible. So application, any application will be fine. So this is also any services you can, or you can filter it and you can add it. If you see service HTTPS or HTTP, whatever you want, so only that particular things we can allow. And in the actions, yes, action is allowed. Click on OK. So this is how a single firewall rule to be created in the Palo Alto firewall. So before creating the rule, you need to know what is the source, what is the destination, what is the port they want to talk. Now if you see, so this is the rule I have created. Name is inside, outside, zone is inside, going from anybody, any user. If they wanted to go to outside, and particularly on this protocol HTTPS 443, the action is allowed. The action is allowed, and Palo Alto firewall has this feature. So by default they have these two things. So intra zone, inter zone. So intra means within a zone, I mean inside to inside. If source is inside, destination is inside, that is called as a intra zone, and by default it will be allowed. And if it is an intra zone, that means communication between two different zones. It could be with DMZ or could be with internet, anybody. So that is by default allowed. Okay, so let me explain about the further options. So here you can choose this, and if you want to delete, we can delete this, or if you want to clone. So this is also very good feature in Palo Alto. So you can create after rule or below rule. So now I'll put one after rule. I'm just cloning. So let's see what will happen. So the same if you see the same rule but with -1, it came. So if you want, you can open it, you can edit it, and you need to save it. Like let's say I'm just adding this rule number 1. So you can even disable that particular rule. So if I click on disable, that will stop working. So please note, Palo Alto is a real-time firewall, and whatever the actions you are doing, that will take immediate. Okay, now if you see this rule number 1, I have disabled and I need to commit it. So once I commit it, immediately the actions will apply to the production. Okay, and if you want, you can take all the rules in PDF format, and this is also one of the important feature from Palo Alto. So it can show unused rules for 90 days, completely unused or completely unused for 30 days. That kind of things you can see. Okay, and again NAT also I'll just show you about NAT. NAT stands for network address translation. So here also the same thing, you need to know what is a particular source, what is a particular destination, and what you want to allow the ports. So just click on add. So just name it, any name is fine. So NAT rule. So description is also NAT rule. So I don't have any tags. Original packet. So original packet coming from where? Coming from my inside network. Again you can choose any, but it's not recommended to choose any for this NAT rules. So you need to always choose the particular zone from where it is coming or going. So source zone, we need to choose it, but for now I am choosing anybody. So destination zone, hold on for a minute. Okay, so now destination zone will be outside and then translated packet. So here is where you need to choose PAT, dynamic IP and port. So automatically your firewall will have the outside interface, and it has the public IP. So automatically it will do the port address translation, also called as PAT. Okay, so translated address, interface address, then you can click on OK. Okay, I think I have already created, so that's what it is showing. Yeah, you can see it here, NAT rule. So inside, outside. So I have provided few vendor IPs and it is doing the NATing. So that's how you can create the NAT rules. So moving further to objects. Yes, this is also an important place. So here is where basically you can create your addresses, address groups, applications, application filters, services, service groups, everything. So let me explain one by one. So address, so basic address is, you can create like this. Like let's say you are managing LAN infrastructure for your company. So now LAN, for example, marketing team. So now LAN marketing, so they are from 192.168.1.0/24. so here it's again the name, you can put any name, description is optional. Here if you see, you can mention IP, range, wildcard mask, FQD and fully qualified domain name. I'm just using IP with subnet mask. So 192.168.1.0/24. So now I have created one object for my LAN users marketing. So I'll show you what is the use of by creating like this, and I'll just add one more object like LAN, for example finance or any team. So finance 192.168.2.0, again any name is fine. So IP with subnet mask 192.168.2.0/24. so now if you see, I have created two objects. So one is for marketing team sitting in my LAN, other is for finance team, they are also sitting in the LAN. So now if you see, they both are in different subnet, and now if they wanted to talk, you need to allow the traffic. So how to allow the traffic? Again you need to go to policies, you need to create a firewall rule. So go to policies, just click on add. Okay, now for example finance team to marketing team RDP access, remote desktop access. Again description, those things are optional. Okay, sorry, this is an NAT rule, we need to go into security. So I don't want any NAT for now because they both are sitting inside my organization. So source zone will be inside, destination zone also will be inside, but the only thing is they both are in different networks, so they will not be able to talk unless firewall is allowing the traffic. So now just create a rule. So finance to marketing, any name is fine. So source zone. Now since I have created the objects, okay, so you need to choose inside. So now in the source address we need to choose that particular finance team or marketing team. Okay, now source will be my inside. Now here is the source address. Since I have already created the finance and marketing team objects, now it will populate here. Okay, here is where I am talking. Now if you see, I am choosing my LAN finance object, and destination in this case is also my inside only, and now source is my finance, destination will be my marketing. Okay, you can choose marketing. So that's the use case of creating the object. So application, let it be the application, and URL. So here let's see. Okay, so here I already created port RDP. So TCP 3389 is the standard port, so I'm seeing it here, and in the actions you can allow it, and yes. So this is how in real time we will create the rules in this Palo Alto firewall. So let's see how it is showcasing. Yeah, if you see the third rule, finance to marketing. So source will be my inside. If the finance team wanted to go to marketing team, they are also sitting in inside. Now TCP 3389 RDP port, now the traffic is allowed for them. That's the use case of your objects. I mean, that's how you can create the objects, network objects, and address groups. We can even club both of them. Okay, so if I go to address group, I'll just mention address groups. So here yeah, here if you see, I can choose a finance and I can also choose marketing. So they both I'll made into single group called address group number 1. Now while creating the rules, I also can use this address group 1. So if I call address group 1, inside that the both subnets will come. So be it the finance, be it marketing, again here there is no limit. You can even call n number of subnets, that is possible. So if you see, you will get it like this. So quickly move further. For services, so predefined services, by default it will show, like if you see HTTP, HTTPS. So I have created the RDP 3389. So simply you can click on add and you can define whatever the protocols you want, like let's say TCP 8080 for example. So description is fine. So destination port will be 8080. So already it is taken TCP. If you want UDP, you can change it to UDP and then simply click on OK. So now the TCP 8080 will be available here, and you can choose while creating the rules about TCP 80 and 80. So now please understand, here we have chosen TCP 8080. So the firewall will only allow 8080 for TCP. It will not allow for UDP traffic. So whatever we have mentioned protocol, only that traffic will be allowed. Again here we can do the same thing. I mean, again you can export these things, you can clone it, you can add, delete, the basic operations you still can do. So moving to network. So yeah, here is where we can do all the interfaces configurations. So you can go to Ethernet. So the basic interfaces configurations, how many interfaces it has, what kind of IP addresses it has. You can see what is a virtual router. So that's the thing, we can see it here, and we can see the tunnels. If you are creating any VPN tunnels, so you can go to tunnel and you can create VPN tunnels. So I'll be doing one short video on how to create the VPN tunnels. Now since this is an explanation, I'm just if you see, you can see the interfaces. You can keep what is the layer 3, layer 2, whatever it is, IP addresses, security zones you can define. Now if you see the link state, this is the management interface. That's why this interface is up. You can also see it over here. It's a full duplex with 1000 Mbps, and all the remaining ports are not connected, of course. And yeah, virtual routers, you can do zones, you can create, I mean whatever the zones, inside, outside, DMZ, vendor zone, third party zone, guest Wi-Fi, anything you can basically create it. And here is where we can create the VPN tunnels that I am going to talk about shortly. And here is the global protect. So Palo Alto, they have their own VPN solution as well, global protect. So as part of that, we need to define what is the portal, what is the gateway, so that the end users can download the global protect application and they can connect to this VPN boxes. Okay, so this Palo Alto firewall can act as a can act as an firewall, can also act as an VPN boxes. Okay, and finally the device. So here I can see, I mean you can see the licenses, support. If you want to create any ticket with Palo Alto firewall, you can do this. Global protect client, what software they are using, so that kind of things you can see it here. And if you see server profiles, if you have radius, TACAX, netflow means if you wanted to export some logs from this firewall, that also you can do. So here is the certificate management. I'll do a short video about certificate management shortly. And yes, high availability we can do, setup we can do, and administrators roles, that kind of stuff we can do in the device. I hope this session is informative. So if you have any feedback, please comment and subscribe the channel. Thank you.